All I can hear is you saying testy.
Testes. 1, 2, 3 testes.
All right. I'm sick as this man needs to talk. Intro, do it.
I don't know what episode this is. Episode 3 of ZBGB, Bubba Zoom, and
I'm a Zethus. I'm sick as I picked last week. We didn't drop an episode. Actually, I'm hiding it as all hell, dude. Last week didn't drop a new episode. I was gonna record with this man last week. I was gonna call it off, but he beat me to the punch. First. Yeah, he beat me to the punch. Yeah, I was actually gonna text him. I was actually on my way home.
Shootout, you know.
And because I was on my way home from Calgary from Amon and Marth and Dave Matthews, and yeah, we only
get to do it once a week.
Matthew good, but anyways, I was on my way home and I was like just bagged, and also from that show,
I figured you would be anyway, right? So I thought it was safe.
Yeah, I wasn't actually expecting to be like all that tired or anything either, but I ended up picking up like a cold or something like that, right? But it was weird because like I made sure I'm drugged up as all hell, right? I don't think I'm contagious, so I'm good, and I'm like really good about like being sanitizing my hands and stuff like that with what I touch. And I try not to touch
sick. It's the kids if they get sick.
If anything, I'm doing you a favor to try and get out of work because fuck work, dude.
Didn't want to say it.
I know.
Hope they're not listening. You know,
fuck them. But yeah, otherwise, he bailed on me first. I was gonna pull the trigger on him on it first, but anyways, couldn't get together with this guy to do an episode to record last week, so we had to skip last week. So we're gonna try and do it again. By the way, if you didn't, did you see the analytics or anything from last week's episode or from episode number 2? First episode, 17 views. Episode 2, 1.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Whatever. That's the kind of shit I like to see. Is like see really low numbers.
Kind of hilarious.
Absolutely. Going from like 17 to 1. Fuck yeah.
Even talking right now, if no one's listening,
I don't give a shit.
Fucking cares what we say?
Oh, dude, this is like no different than us. Like just
harm, no foul. Yeah, whatever.
This is no different than us bullshitting when I first walk into the door.
Yeah, well, when we were talking on the balcony.
Exactly, when we were just talking on the balcony.
Work or whatever, the transitional phase in consoles, all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, this is literally just us bullshitting with cameras on. Like, there's nothing different.
Why not?
Well, that was the whole, like, that's how this whole thing spawned anyways.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I ended up picking up a cold or whatever from Amon and Marth. That was a rad show. I felt the itch to go into that mosh pit. Like that was,
you would have broke.
Oh man, it would not have been pretty. Like I had no business being anywhere there.
What's the oldest person that are in mosh pits that you've seen?
Oh, I've seen people of all ages, top to bottom, in mosh pits.
But are they in good shape? You know,
not always.
Like old. Like you can't be geriatric.
You'd be surprised.
No, but like retirement home people would never.
Oh, I've seen you see dudes like that are like 60, 70 years old on the front rails.
But are people like kind of careful with them, or do they knock them around?
Oh no, everyone watches out for each other, right? That kind of deal, right? Everyone's like very
aware, very, very aware when you got people of like younger ages, older ages, or people that are like disabled and stuff like that in wheelchairs and whatnot, like when
that.
Wheelchairs go to mosh pits.
Oh yeah, dude.
There's probably a circle around them. If that's disrespectful, like of people avoiding, because no one wants to knock the guy on wheels.
Let me tell you a story. Actually, speaking of Amon and Marth, actually, this is I think the 4th time that I've seen Amon and Marth. So I think the second time that I saw Amon and Marth when they were in Calgary, I can't remember exactly what year it was, but it was at McEwen Hall in Calgary.
Yeah,
and so they were playing. I'm like second from the rail, like right, like in the center, like in the pit, right? And I hear behind me over my left shoulder, I just hear this burly voice, "Move! Get the fuck out of the way! Move!" Right? I'm just like, immediately I'm thinking like, all right, asshole trying to come through. I look, and what it was is a dude trying to make way for the caretaker that was that was wheeling this guy in a wheelchair through the pit, and the guy was just like, because he had to be louder than the band and get people's attention. Like, hey,
the wheelchair guy.
Yeah, no. Like, this is a separate dude. This is a bald, like, burly. Like, this is hard to describe. I wish I can remember exactly like the exact moment, but like I remember him fairly vividly.
This is the wheelchair pusher guy.
This is the dude that was like just helping the caretaker
clear the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the guy was just like, there was one guy that was trying to clear a way for the dude that was in this wheelchair, but the caretaker was like kind of like wheelchairing him. But there was a third. That was just pushing him through the crowd. Yeah. But there was a third dude that was trying to like get people's attention to try and make way. Right. So the dude, just to kind of give the lad a moment to like experience the band like there,
how they're kind of meant to be,
right?
Yeah.
And so people were really, really cool. Everyone made way, like cleared a path, wheeled them through, whatever. Had a couple of moments, and of course, like people were getting like Johan, the vocalist, so getting his attention, being like, Johan, like pointing at him, and so he even like gave him a cheers with his horn and whatever, and kept on performing. But not before the dude with the bald, angry-looking dude, sounding dude that got everyone to clear the way. Not before he turned around and he looked around and went, okay, you. And he pointed to one of those people was me, points to him, up, meaning grab a corner, grab a wheel, he goes up. Do not do this. Do not do this. I did this. Do not do this.
Did you drop him?
Fuck no, of course not. No.
You put him on the stage, or what did you do? Did you surf him around?
No, just four guys that this is
like a coffin, except it's a dude in a wheelchair.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, just like the guy just looked around. He just looked around. He's just like, okay, like you look capable. He pretty much like looked at everyone because he was sober, right? Like you can tell, like he's not like one of those like angry, like drunk kind of people. No, he was like sober, aware. He was one of those like safety guys, right?
Yeah.
But he was just like, he got people's attention, but he did a quick like assessment on the spot and deemed this person, and this person I trust on the spot to go down and pick this dude up on the wheelchair and hold him up to give him a moment with the band.
And how old was this guy with a wheelchair guy?
Not to define him as fucking tell you, dude.
But he is special to. He will never forget that. Was he like permanently in a wheelchair disabled?
Yeah. He was permanently disabled. Absolutely. 1,000%.
Like he'll never forget that. You know, that is one of the most special things that'll maybe ever happen in his life.
Probably, but right? Honestly, and like I don't take any kind of accolades or whatever because like
no, not in that way, but just like
for him,
that's very.
But man, it was one of those moments where it's like, in retrospect, it's like that's so unbelievably irresponsibly fucking stupid because from a safety level.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you want to give that moment.
Yes.
For a fan that's like only able to do that once or twice in their life. Because if the guy's like permanently in a wheelchair and he may not be able to travel, like
it's a once in a lifetime thing potentially.
It might be. Yeah. I don't know that situation all the same.
Like a Make-A-Wish Foundation type.
So
experience.
We literally just hoisted them up on our shoulders and had like 5 or 10 seconds before security was like, okay. It's just like, all right, we good, down. And I'm not sure if anyone got any pictures or any videos or anything of that moment, but like I just remember like that happening. But at that same time, it was just like, oh man, at the moment it was cool, but in retrospect, I'm like, God, holy shit.
And then he gets down and does he start moshing and rolling into people?
At that point, it was just like he.
Where'd he go off into the sunset?
We put him down
into the night.
At the end of the song, dude. Then everyone just helped clear the way.
Yeah.
Back out and back off into the ether, and that was it. Like I didn't see. I don't know if I saw. I didn't see any one of those three for the rest of the night or ever again.
There was no guy.
Oh no, everyone's. Oh yeah, the wife definitely remembers that.
She was there.
Oh yeah. She goes with me to most shows. Like it has gone with me to most shows for the past like 11 years. Yeah. Actually, no, our 11th year anniversary is going to be here in 6 days. No, 6 days. In 6 days.
6 days.
Yeah, 6 days are our 11 years.
Rats. What are you going to do?
Not be sick because I pass it off to her.
Yeah. What do you guys usually do?
Go to concerts.
But like on the anniversary day, or is it more you celebrate it before, or
it's like truth be
told,
told,
go for dinner.
Truth be told, we don't know our exact anniversary day. We just know the month. We just don't know the day. So we just picked like the 15th.
Yeah,
because it's in the middle of the month. We're like, fuck it, safe number. And so most of the time we just try and like plan concerts around that time.
Right.
And Matthew Yu was supposed to be that show, and same with the Monomarth. It technically was our anniversary show, but normally like on the day we normally just try and go for a show, but like that. But this was the first metal show that we've been to in 5 years. I hadn't been to a metal show since 2019.
Yeah, before COVID.
And what's crazy is that the last metal show I went to was Cannibal Corpse at that very venue, who was opening for Monomarth.
Yeah, that's eerie a bit, you know?
Yeah, that was the last metal show that I went to before COVID hit was the same band that
that is funny.
Oh, yeah.
That is funny.
Different lineup, but yeah, Cannibal Corpse played, and that was a rad show. I love Cannibal Corpse. They're so good. I love watching them. But I got me a guitar pick for my troubles.
Right.
So I'll throw a picture on there, but yeah, I try and catch swag and shit like that at shows whenever I can. I got like, there's a buddy of mine, Roki. He has an obnoxious collection of like stuff that he gets from shows and whatnot. It's so amazing. Anyways, but like that guy, he earns it. He goes to shit. Anyways, I can geek out about music and whatnot another time. But anyways, so went to the show, got sick, and now I'm trying not to pass it around, or maybe I am trying to pass it around. So haha, fuck you.
But like you said, they're probably not watching.
No, they're definitely not watching. So we can sit here and talk shit. And
I can say I'm just. But if I am legitimately sick, whatever the reason, I'm sick. I could. If I need to call in, I call in.
Passed it to you. So what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Fire me? Yeah. Oh wait,
you have sick days for a reason.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah,
like you do legally. Yeah, use them or lose them. Just like the guy we worked with that I told you about, the boss of the, and yeah.
Nah, screw that noise. If you get sick days,
he's never called in. Not to get on that really quick, but he's never called in. And I said to him, I'm like, you don't use your sick days? He's like, no, I never have. I'm like, why would you waste them? You're earning those sick days. They are there to use. And frankly, that place doesn't care enough. They're always receptive when you need to use days. That's one thing I found. They understand.
You have sick days, use them, all of them.
Exactly, or they go to waste. That's not a perk, otherwise. Anyway.
So Sony fucked up.
Yeah, Helldivers. Yeah, I want to play it.
Check this out. So this is funny because when the news popped about what Sony did with Helldivers, and I knew in a way it was going to reignite the whole console versus PC gaming tribalism and whatnot. I knew it was going to spark it back up. I knew it was, right? Yeah. And so the first thing I thought of, I'm just like, you know what? I need us to have like the most clickbaitiest thumbnail possible because this man is console. He's team console. I'm like,
not team anything. I'm team as long as the company's not a piece of shit who makes a live service game losing $200 million, Warner Bros. If they make a proper game and they don't flood it with DLC, then I don't care if it's for a console or PC. Credit where credit is due, and each station has benefits and they're different. I
just mostly because in terms of like how we approach our modern gaming experiences,
right? Yes, yes.
It's funny because I would say I'm predominantly the PC gamer versus where you're predominantly console, right?
Yeah,
which is
for sure,
not in any shade,
for sure.
But when this popped, and when I knew that it would ignite that tribalism, I'm just like,
oh, I knew right away it would.
I'm just like, for no reason, just because I think it's funny as hell.
And it shouldn't bring up tribalism. It should be, we stand united as a community that generates billions of dollars a year to say no.
Because you know what's crazy to me is that
vote with your wallets.
1,000%.
Like,
absolutely
simple. And I don't care PC console. People need to realize you're on the same team against these buggers, you know? And that's why this worked and they backtracked on it. That Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima like the next day.
But besides that, you know, like people revolted. They fully revolted against the game and they listened. People have power. Vote.
In numbers, because you know what's kind of crazy is that essentially they tune the knob on a player base that essentially has been playing against an anomaly on a very, very co-op experience. And you're twisting the knob against those player bases that are like, spread democracy by any means necessary, or else traitor kind of mentality. Like, I know it's just a video game or whatever, right? But when you're like essentially removing access, even for regardless of the number of like the number of people that's affected, the number of countries affected is crazy.
Yeah, almost 200.
Yeah, just wild numbers, right? But ultimately, it's just that whole takesy backsy kind of mentality, and then you're doing that against essentially your teammates. You may not know them because they may not play in the same region. It doesn't matter, but they're playing the same game, and it's a very, very co-op us versus.
It's a huge community, that game. Like their camaraderie with it, you know, you're losing comrades if it's 100 and 200 almost countries lose access to it.
They point
you know,
the finger and they're calling each other traitor. I love that shit. That stuff makes me giggle all the time.
Who's calling who traitor?
Oh, just any means would be like, hey, you're not going to the major objective right now.
Oh,
it's like
right.
That's some treacherous talk.
Yeah.
Why it's like that means you're
deserter.
Yeah, it's like that you're a traitor. Like just like that kind of banter and shit like that you see on online, whether in game or on social media. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I don't play the game. There's reasons I don't play the game, because I don't like the kernel access to the systems for the anti-cheat system, blah, blah, blah. And I don't have a second computer for me to dedicate to doing that kind of gaming.
Get a PS5, play it right on there, you know, cross play.
Dude, I was watching a video, like I have to link it to you, from Wiz Critical or no, who is it from? Crap. Or I can't remember who it was. No, Asmongold was watching a video where he was highlighting like some tweets of like PS5 guys going absolutely batshit crazy that Sony backtracked. Like they're pissed.
And like, they root for the corporation. Why? It's weird. Yeah, it's tribalism. I love PlayStation, the console, but I don't get that. Aren't you just all Helldivers 2 players? Cares what you play on.
This man has a fucking PS5 and the VR 1 and 2.
VR 1 and 2. Yeah.
I would associate this dude as being more Sony than PC.
Totally.
By like the largest of miles.
I've been a loyal Sony PlayStation fan, not a Sony fan, a PlayStation fan since I've always had PlayStation. Always.
See?
So, but for people to sit there and defend this multi-billion dollar corporation, I don't get. I really don't get the Sony defenders.
OG PlayStation vet that has played the shit from like PS1 to now.
I don't get it. Is it like, are they mad because it doesn't validate?
He doesn't get it.
Because it doesn't validate the hundreds of dollars they spent on a console, and they feel like, I don't know what it is.
You have no idea how happy it is that makes me that you don't understand it, because I didn't understand. As soon as I started seeing like the swarms of like pro PS5 guys, like being like, what the fuck are they doing? Like just being uprising, like being like, why would they do that kind of deal? As soon as I started seeing that, I was immediately like confused. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And so the fact that you're equally confused makes me so happy that I'm not delusional.
If millions of fans are disappointed and mad at a company and are that upset as a consumer, how can you side against that. You know, they're screwing you over. They're trying to take advantage.
Why is a smaller player base a good thing?
But that's what they saw. Like we were saying earlier, they saw a dollar sign thing. Oh, 200 countries almost would be unable to play our game, our live service game. That's why they backtracked. They were getting negative reviews, but either way, they listened.
The review bomb was so beautiful that you have no idea how pro review bomb I am now. When it comes to shitty corporate practices,
it's how you make a statement as the consumer.
Yeah, when it comes to greedy, shitty corporate practices, review bomb, absolutely. Yeah. But at the same time, not attacking the developer, because the public in this regard,
it's the company. It's not the people. No, exactly.
Do you know the dude that the community manager that turned around and said, "Hey, speak your voice by leaving a review," or whatever. That dude, he got fired.
Of course he did. Of course he did. It's all corporate.
Oh yeah, you got to shake
business.
Head.
Oh yeah.
As soon as I saw that that tweet that was leaked from Discord message, as soon as I read it, I'm just like, well.
And maybe I'm exaggerating, but the gaming industry I almost feel guilty for being into games, because it's sounds like such a terrible industry to work in.
It's so soulless.
It sounds awful.
Oh my god, all
soul draining, and just because it's more. They never stop. And working on these AAA games, it loses the artistic form of these guys too. They don't care what they're doing, just like we didn't care what we're doing.
I really hope that Helldivers community gets that cape.
Yeah, that was fun.
That shows the Steam ratings going down and then up, whatever. I hope they make that a cape, and I hope that is a cosmetic that they get.
It is cool, but that kind of makes it a publicity stunt. A little bit.
It would have to be tactfully done.
Yeah.
It would have to be done tactfully. And honestly, if they were to...
But Sony as the company gets the ultimate say if they'd go that route, and they'd see dollars because of it. It's a fun idea, though.
Well, exactly. Back to the point is they'll make it an incentive to link it to PSN.
Yeah, it'll be you'll get this Steam review cape if you link it. Then
you don't call it a Steam review cape. Holy shit! Imagine calling it that.
Yeah, they'd call it some. But but if you can only get that with the PSN login,
or call it the Steamy Bar cape.
If they made it locked behind the PSN linking, they get review bombed again.
That's what I would call it. The Steamy Bar cape.
And I hope everyone wears it at once as a common, the camaraderie thing. Everyone's wearing that cape that'll be freely given out as we're not going to take it, a statement. That's kind of cool.
That's funny. Even in video games, it's don't get me wrong, it's just a video game, but at the same time, it's one of those small victories that you get as I guess
big victory.
Speck of sand in a desert, right?
Letting them know we're not going to take your shit anymore. We have the power to make or break you.
If you
and we will show you that. And they did show them that. I won't buy it anymore.
Because if you were to turn around and...
I might buy it tonight.
Oh yeah, I kind of want to, but I'm not going to just yet.
We'll play.
But... Okay. Give me a second, because I got a thought that
I think we should do that.
Okay,
it's $50.
I know. It's not even so much the price that I'm so much worried about. Do you know what my biggest apprehension is when it comes to it?
Just that dopamine hit of it, that, and then you never touch it again, Pal World.
No, my biggest problem, it's more on a technical level. Is my biggest problem with the game is just the amount of system access that the anti-cheat system requires in order for it to run.
Right.
And so, for example,
PS5, get a PS5.
So a way to bypass that for a PC is essentially having a second computer that you just don't give a shit about. You don't have any information that can get compromised. Is literally just a unit to just use and abuse. And you typically don't want to use your main system to have third-party access to such deep levels of access to a system, because kernel level access is like ultimate access. You know the episode of Simpsons when Bart gets the key to the city from Ralph?
Right, and they go to the jail. We just watched that episode. I shit you not.
Yeah,
not a week ago. And they go and Ralph, and then the bullies take him, and then they throw the key in the jail, and Quimby gets electrocuted.
That key is essentially is the kernel for a computer in computer terms.
Yeah.
It's like you can do a lot of shit when you have like deep level of access, right? And so I'm just like not comfortable with like that level of access on a third party system, like doing that kind of stuff. And so I tried to limit any kind of like that kind of exposure, because like I'm trying to be as like I've used computer systems ever since I was a teenager, and I'm always the dude. Like I'm not gonna say I'm like the most computer savvy person in the world. Like I know what I know, and I just try to mitigate what I can from what I've experienced and seen from like I'm turning 40 in a few months. Ever since like 30 years, like easily close to 30 years worth like computer like tapping in some kind of way.
The Mech Warrior,
right?
Warcraft
Ever since
2.
like fucking with Windows 95 kind of deal. Like not quite 30 years, but like you get what I mean. It's 25.
Windows 95. Yeah, that's 29 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So 30 years.
So like, and I even remember like screwing around with like little Mac systems like before that, like that were pre 95.
Well, we played them in school, the computer labs, and they had Deer Hunter and Oregon Trail. There's one called Word Muncher. I don't know if you played that. It was like Pac-Man. And it was like, name the verbs, and you did, and then things would come. Not to get sidetracked on that.
It's like, but here's the thing: is like he grew up in Saskatchewan. I grew up here in Alberta, but at the same time, because we went to school at like such close time, the curriculum was like vastly similar. It's very similar. Like when you're getting into like Western provinces, like talking like Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan, Alberta, and BC, like more eastern parts of BC, it's very, very similar because we're all like a prairie, and it's very, very similar in terms of like the curriculum and the upbringing and whatnot. Oh yeah, it's like
there's mountains here,
mountains and flatness. Like yeah. Anyways, besides that, like when it comes to like that kind of shit, we use the exact same kind of like Mac computers where they use those gigantic fucking discs that played them all.
You have to go to the computer lab.
Hell yeah,
man. What's cool is my son, they have a computer lab. He's like, yeah, it was a computer. Like they still do it where they go and play on the computers. Yeah. And just type, and
I'm surprised there is not like just a big ass room of like fucking iPads and shit like that. But I don't know. I think like all kids should have like exposure to like computer technology to some degree. Like just
not addicted to scrolling, but
just the basic fundamentals on how they work. Not like simply like how to navigate them, how to use them, how to like get through social media. No. I'm talking like how do they work? What do the components kind of do? Right. I think like that kind of knowledge, even like the absolute basics of that should be integrated into regular schooling curriculum.
In grade 6 here, I think,
like tearing apart a phone and shit.
There's robotics class.
Oh yeah, of course.
Robotics though. Imagine growing up.
How expensive is that shit?
And
though?
You're having a robotics course in grade 6 and learning coding.
I'd make it free and mandatory.
Yeah, like that. Like kids actually are learning that. That's a class now. Robotics.
Don't vote for me for anything, because I'd make all cool shit like that, like free and mandatory. It's like, you want to learn robotics? Like, man, that's free.
Education should be free.
I think it should be free too.
Completely. I mean, it is online. Do your own research.
No, well, yeah.
But as far as the institution, it should be free. Why is knowledge locked behind $1? That's its own thing.
Oh, that's we'll try and get out of like geopolitics and like whatnot, because like it's its own thing. But when it
different
comes
podcast,
when it comes to like just passing on like knowledge in general, I don't think it should ever be gatekept in any kind of way. Of course not. Luckily, the internet has completely changed that, but of course, it's hard to pick up a job by saying, "Hey, I watched a fuck ton of YouTube videos,
Yes.
and now I know how to like build everything." I don't know, but yeah, none of that crap. Oh, anyways, party off that we're getting way off topic. Holy shit,
and we will.
I know. I'm trying to. I'm drugged up as all hell, and also like smoked a lot of weed too, because I'm also trying to like knock this out. Because like, yeah, I can barely fucking breathe. Don't worry. Like I'm trying not. I'm hoping I'm not contagious as fuck. I might be.
You should buy Helldivers,
dude. Like
we haven't played a game together ever.
Actually, that's hilarious. We have never played. We've like talked about games for years.
Even
literally
split screen,
years.
nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Helldivers. That's that, and that would be its own series. You know,
I want to take you to a pool hall and play billiards with you.
I'm decent at pool.
I have to say, so
I'm
bad.
not. See, and maybe it's one of those things I like to think I'm good at it, but I'm not.
That's okay. You just play against me, man. You'll feel way better because I'm
it's
so
fun,
shit.
Though. It's just fun. I love pool.
I love pool.
Put one in here. Knock out the TV. Just put a pool table.
I got a shitty one in in the basement I'm living in, except it's like it has like my sister-in-law's shit all over it and whatnot. So that's its own thing. But anyways, no, one of these days I'll like be over to one of the pool halls here, and we'll have to have like a couple of beers, and I have to have you kick my ass in pool because I suck at it.
Well, there's the Place. Have you been to the Place? It's the arcade, and it turns into a club at night. But it's all ages before. But they have pinball and.
No, that would probably be
like you can go where they have
I've never been there. No.
Yeah, I haven't either.
No, I haven't been in that place.
Not to get into it.
I try not to like get. I don't try not to like go out to a whole lot of places around here.
Yeah,
because it's giga expensive.
Well, I'm a homebody. I'd rather play Helldivers with you.
No, like it's. I just want to save money and like just stay home, so I don't go out anywhere. I try not, and I don't eat out anywhere at all. So expensive,
in delivery fees and tips.
Yeah,
like you order a Blizzard from Dairy Queen, it's $18 after everything. What?
Did you have to pay that recently with your kids?
No, I've done it before though. In a moment of weakness, I've ordered a Blizzard. Blizzards are expensive though.
When was the last time you had a Blizzard? Or when was the last time you had like any like? When was the last time that you like said fucking gorged on fast food and you spent like an amount? You looked at the tab and went, "Oh shit."
Not so much I looked at it like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. But I went to Moxie's and I paid for a steak dinner for two. And 2 steaks, nachos, which would have fed 4 people. Oh, I got 1 alcoholic drink.
What was the alcoholic drink? Was it beer?
A tequila sunrise.
Fuck yeah.
It's my go-to
hell yeah, dude.
Cocktail. And so steak, nachos, and the white chocolate brownie.
Oh, god damn. Oh, fuck yeah,
man. Unreal. But I paid after tip and stuff. It was $150.
Ouch. I'd have a hard time swallowing that myself too.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was kind of expecting it. But even 5 years ago.
Damn, that's a good meal.
5 years ago, that would have almost been half price. Like it would have been $80, maybe $100 after tip to take 2 people to the keg. Or Moxie's around there, but that was the last time I really splurged. Dude. But to get skip the dishes, Uber Eats or anything, it's crazy the fees you pay.
Yeah, I don't do any of that. Yeah. Nope. It's like the only time that the wife and I did that was like while we were in Calgary. I think it was a little bit before or during COVID. And it was only like once or twice. But either way, like I knew instantly, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna get out of hand. The only time that we really did is when they were offering like crazy coupons, like 10, like, what was it? I think it was like 2 foot long Subway sandwiches for $10. I'm like, yes.
Now they advertise a $5 6-inch. But it was a $5 foot long 6 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. It was always something like really ridiculous where the wife just kind of looks at me and is like, you want to have like Subway sandwiches for like the next 2 days because you ain't getting through all this? And I'm like, I'll do the good old college try, but it ain't saying much because I dropped out of college.
2 people used to be able to eat at Subway for $12. Like you wouldn't get a drink or something, but you could both get a 6-inch sub.
Speaking of
or
Subway,
$5 foot long each, and pay the tax. Like, yeah,
small town story. So I grew up in a small town just outside of here. It was like 43, like 4,300 people right around the time of this story. So it was like really, really tiny. But I remember when Subway first hit this small town, and it was right next to the video cinema, the rental place, because kind of right around the corner, because it took the one corner lot, and then the driveway kind of went deep, and it was its own separate.
The shittiest towns have Subway.
Yeah, man.
I might add, every town has a frickin' Subway.
And then right next door to the Subway was the bakery. And then right next...
the bakery too?
Like the bakery. Yeah,
famous
the bakery.
one?
Yeah, the bakery.
Yeah.
And then attached to the bakery was the grocery store, right?
Okay.
And so you had like the perfect... And it was right on the corner of a major intersection for a highway that connects two different highways for truckers. Subway fucking nailed that spot, and yeah, man.
All the towns put them on their main highway. That's prime real estate for them.
Claire's home earned Subway so much fucking money because me and my friends would always be able to scrounge up like, what was it, $5? And man, I'm trying to pull this from memory. It was for a cold cut combo for a 6-inch. It was like $5.65 or something like that. And by the way, this is like
you probably got cookies with it too.
With a pop and with a cookie.
Yeah, chips or a cookie, you know.
Or with a bag of chips. Yeah, bag of chips and a cookie. Or a drink, one of the two.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Or the drink, or you paid like an extra 65 cents and you got it with the drink, right? Either way, it was like $5.65, and yeah, it was a cold cut combo because that was the one that you can get the most amount of meat, without hitting the $6 mark.
And it hits sometimes. Sometimes it was real good, you know.
So me and my friends, we were just like, hey, what's going to give us? And this is before they put how much grammage it was, like where it's mandatory now.
They're anal now.
Yeah, where you have to.
They're
like,
really bad. You
like
get hardly anything.
Yeah, but before, because this is the time when they cut it really fucked up in that V shape at the very top. Did they ever do that with yours?
The V shape
on the bread. So on the bread, instead of cutting it like just in half, like naturally, what they would do, they would essentially cut out a wedge on the top in the shape of a V.
Oh, I remember vaguely something about they changed the way they did the cut. And it was actually, I think, an advertising campaign as well. That, like it was the newest thing. It's like they cut your bread different. Who cares? I swear that was a thing.
I distinctly remember like the way that they cut it the first time was like on the top, but you're around in a V shape, right?
Yes.
And so I don't know why they did it like that, because it can never hold the ingredients properly. Ever.
No.
But then they changed it to just being traditional from the side, and it was just 1,000 times better.
Yeah. A simple cut. You know, Subway as a business is amazing. Those ingredients must cost nothing. Lettuce, pepper, like surely they're not paying like, free veggies. It doesn't cost much. And you're paying $12 for this sandwich, which I could make from Walmart with the ingredients 5 times over for $3.
What my opinion is, it's fast food and it's all fucking garbage.
Yeah, Subway used to be party. You know, it used to be, it would fill you.
It was all processed meat.
It's expensive now. I can't justify Subway for the taste, for what it costs now. When something costs more money, the taste is different, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
When I go to Little Caesars and spend $8 on a hot fry, it's delicious. But if I were to have spent $22 on that, disgusting.
I have a very, very deep love-hate relationship with Caesar's Pizza.
Their deep dish is amazing. It tastes like Pizza Hut.
I have a love-hate relationship with Caesar's, and I don't know what it is about.
You can't reheat it.
Sure. Oh God, well, it doesn't. Here's the thing: I'm such an asshole when it comes to food that I will eat it almost in any form, especially when it comes to things that I really like. hamburgers and pizza are two of those food groups where it's like I will risk.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right? Yes,
I don't care. But Caesar's is one of those ones where it's like, not anymore, but where I need a quick medium, like 7-inch for $5, $5.25 tax. Fuck it.
Hot and fresh used to be $5 for a full medium.
I remember those days, man.
Killer deal, and you get marinara for free.
Oh,
now
yeah.
you buy it and it's in a little peelable processed factory cup. Before it was like they'd serve it to you, you know. You got
I remember
quite
when they
a
served
bit
it
too. You get more than enough for an entire pizza.
Because it was one always next door to Movie Mill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were always really generous. Like back in the early days. Yeah, they're crazy generous.
Now they cheap out and really side thing, not to get to, when I worked at the movie theater, you know the packets of flavor they give out, like dill pickle, and they're like in a...
Oh, yeah.
You pay 25 cents or whatever. Do you remember when you'd buy the popcorn? I know you don't go to movies much, but you'd go to the theater, you get butter, and where you get your straws, there's the flavor shakers.
The shakers? Oh, I know the shakers, yep.
And we used to have to go into the room, and they were in like totes, and you'd scoop it out and fill the shakers.
Are you good?
But yeah, you went into the room and refilled the shakers and the powder and the dill pickle.
Yeah.
Speaking of coughing, it would make you choke. Dill pickle. But yeah, that's a side thing with like how stuff used to be free.
I remember those shakers because like anytime that my friends and I, and even one of the girls I was dating at the time, whenever we went to the movie theaters, like the dill pickle was always the go-to, right? But
it was the most popular.
Oh yeah. But it was always like 50-50 whether it was going to be any in there or not at the time you get to it.
Because us guys making $8 hadn't changed it yet. $8 an hour. We didn't care.
I'm surprised it was
That's
$8
why it was
an hour.
always
Like
empty.
back in those days, I'm surprised it was $8 an hour. But our second choice was always salt and vinegar was our number 2.
Yeah.
So
I was a cheddar guy.
Eventually my the girl that was dating at the time got pissed off and said, "Okay, enough," and we just started bringing our own. Just said, "Fuck it, bring our own."
Yeah.
Said screw it. So we always had like a little bottle that you always kept in our boots, and just fuck it, just
oh yeah,
why not?
Also,
but I also was like I'd always sneak in booze like a bandit too.
Oh, the shit I saw in the movie theater when I worked there, I was a projectionist. That's its own. Okay. Working at a movie theater.
Okay. I got to think about a good question. Give me a sec.
It was a fun job though in my early 20s when I was I
can't think of like the best like. I can't go right in and be like, what's the raunchiest thing? I gotta like ease into it.
There is a raunchy story I have, even thinking of that right off the bat too.
Fuck it, go for it.
So I was a projectionist, and when it was film, it's all digital now. But you'd go up and, your projection, you can see into the stadium seating. You'd see into every theater. And there was the movie, and I think it was, I want to say it was, I'd have to think, but Mr. Bean's Holiday. This was 2007, 2009-ish. And a friend of mine, he went into the theater and he swears, he's like, no tickets were sold. We could check, because if there's no tickets sold, we shut the projector off to save energy.
Right.
Done. Turn the lights on. And so no tickets were sold. So I went to shut down the theater, and he went to check down below, and I could see him. And they were right under the projection booth. And her head was down in his lap.
Chick was good. Was giving head.
And he has keys at the front of the theater when you enter to turn the floodlights on. And I was upstairs to shut the projector off. So over the radio, simultaneously, he turned on the lights while I shut off the light bulb and the movie. Just boom.
You flashbanged them.
Flashbanged them.
You fucking flashbanged them.
And I didn't see, but I guess they oh yeah, what you can imagine. Mr. Bean's Holiday. So shut the movie down. You let the movie play all the way to the end, by the way. You just turn off the bulb. But yeah, young guys.
Yeah. Flashbanged a dude while he was getting head.
Yeah, because you haven't seen those bright lights. Like the lights turn on at the theater. These are like lights.
Oh, dude.
Theater number 10.
You son of a bitch, you almost castrated the dude.
theater number 10, and they'll never forget it.
Oh, that's so fucking horrible. That's so funny and funny.
Yeah, on a much smaller scale, I had to go into like people in the movie, the young kids making out nonstop in the theater, and it was distracting people. So you had to go in, like stuff like that happened. But the floodlights thing, that was, well, clearly very memorable, very funny.
Oh, just
it was, that was special. That was a good one.
Oh, that's good. Oh my God, my face hurts.
We also, quick story. I would put the movies together. They'd come in reels, like say 5 reels at a time. And you'd have to attach the trailers. Like you'd have to edit them together, the film reels. And so you'd put the trailers
just on the fly?
Yeah, like when the movies came in, they were under code names too. Like Transformers was called like, and so you had to put the reels on 5 separate reels and put the movie together. You made up the film and you spliced them together. It was cool. It was fun. And we spliced in frames of just random, like nothing innocent.
You just Fight Clubbed it, didn't you?
Yes. And like a trailer would be playing or the actual movie. Like I put together Twilight and we had just subliminal, like, boop. We put 3 frames of like, say, Step Brothers into whatever.
You actually Fight Clubbed them.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, totally. So there'd be a clip of like all throughout, just boom, boom, like 1984, you know, boom, like advertising and just a split second and the sound would just not even cut out. Because 1 second, if something's like 30 frames a second, right, and you put three frames in, then
what kind of shit did you put in?
Innocent stuff. Like it was stuff from other trailers or like
bullshit,
just random stuff. Nothing like, you know, raunchy or nothing like that. It was innocent stuff.
Give me an example.
Just like Step Brothers, like Will Ferrell would pop up, like innocent, really stupid stuff that 22-year-olds would do. And we had this Kermit.
That's
puppet.
A shit thing to even think about. What a 22-year-old would do.
Yeah, we were running the movies, multi-million-dollar movies. I was in charge of playing Spider-Man 3 in this city. As a 22-year-old, 23-year-old, I also scratched a Harry Potter movie. So when you scratched it, the projector's scratching it, there'd be a big green line.
Mm-hmm.
I scratched Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And they had to buy a new one. And it was about rent, and it was like $5,000. $5,000 to get a new one. I wasn't allowed to be a projectionist for 2 weeks.
Oh, this is way funnier than it should be. I don't know why. Oh, this is obviously like the drugs kicking in because I don't know why this is funny to me, but it is fucking hysterical.
Oh, the stories of that place.
Holy shit. Oh, I don't know.
Stories.
I don't know why I'm so easily amused. I'm very easily amused tonight, by the way. That's a good story. I love that. That's so good.
Yeah.
The only somewhat like raunchy story that I got that involves work. Oh, you'll love this. And this is, I'm sorry to talk about like work kind of stuff, but this is like part of our upbringing and it's just
part of our bond.
It's kind of part of our bond, but it's also like we're just regular working schmoes, right? I've been in the workforce for the past, man, I'm trying to think now, 23 years. I've been a working schmo for 23 goddamn years. Well, not right now because I'm unemployed because I got shit canned. But
sorry, it is Mr. Bean's holiday as well. Just a quick.
It was
it? Mr. Bean's holiday. 07.
So, but like same with this guy. Like he's probably like when did you first start working? Like when you're like what 15, 16 years old as well?
No, I was later. I was just in school and then I went to college. I didn't work until I was 20. I worked at McDonald's when I moved here for college.
Like a high school like gig or anything like that? No, really?
No,
oh
never.
Shit.
No.
Oh man, yeah. I was doing paint can crushing for DBS Environmental.
Oh yeah,
I was
so
like
many people had jobs.
Old. Yeah. Yeah, I did canola field roguing when I was like 15 years old, and I was like when I was 16, I was a gas jockey, and then did dishwashing for a little bit as well, and then I was like 17. And crap, I don't know. I did a lot of shit. Either way, I've been working ever since I was like 14, 15 years old. And so And with that said,
child labor.
I just worked a lot. I had to earn money in some kind of way, especially if I wanted like video games, computer, and a car when I turned like 18 years old and shit. And I had to pay for my own driver's ed. I had to pay for my own license and whatnot. Oh yeah, I paid for all that shit. All that stuff was all bought with my own money. I had to earn that shit. Right. And so it was like my old man was just like, no, it's like, if you want adult stuff, you got to earn it the adult way. Like, got working. So yeah, I worked and went to school.
Capitalist way.
Yeah. And so like, and I was a good student too. Like I didn't skip school, and I always like took the easier classes for sure. Right. Except for math. I always went with advanced math. Yeah. Because math was too damn easy. Because I saw Math 33 and I was like, fuck that. I'm going to be way too bored. So math was the only thing I really challenged myself on. Oh, and art. Art was really good too. But anyways, aside from that, I don't even know how I got on that tangent. Either way, I didn't like skip school, but anytime I had a chance to try and earn a few extra bucks, I'll try and just put manual labor into it. And then that's where that's how I tried to sustain my my fandom of like gaming and shit like that when I was a kid. It was like, you just put in like elbow grease and just did it. And Gerda got a little bit of money, but then you just fucking blew it on stupid shit. You didn't save it. I didn't save shit, man.
No kid does.
It's like, well,
my kid gets $5 and he goes.
The smart ones do. Like, so for example, like Gary Vee is always like a good inspiration when it comes to talking about like good money practices at a young age, because like his story about like his approach to his entrepreneurial venture ever since he was like a kid is always really fascinating. It's very inspirational, but his insight and approach to just money management in general is just automatically different than what it was for me and what it would have been for you, because that very mentality, because I'm just like, I have friends that I want to play video games with, and video games cost money. Case closed. No different than probably you when you were a kid too.
Well, yeah, I just got every game I wanted given to me almost.
Yeah,
but an RPG would last me ages, months. So I didn't need as many, I guess, either. And my PS1 had a mod chip, so I could just burn games.
My buddy would always,
I didn't have to work for it.
What it was for me is like, we'd try and like prior to having like a job, like when I was a kid. So I'm talking like like N64, Super Nintendo era,
like 99,
98 year, that era kind of deal. Like you had to rely on your parents and be a good boy, be a good girl, or all that kind of stuff. Make sure that you don't rock the boat too much, and hopefully Santa he's good to the family, and hopefully corporations don't like rip off your dad too much, and you get yourself a fucking N64 with Star Fox and Super Mario Bros.
Quick question: when did you quit believing in Santa? Really quick. You remember?
Okay, here's the thing. Is that this is going to be a 2-part answer. And do you want stories behind them?
Sure.
Because that age is very young, like sub 10.
Yeah.
Because it was me, and we had 3 siblings, except one of my youngest brother, he's like 10 years younger, right? So growing up when I was a kid, essentially it was me and my 2 siblings, but we were little fucking shits, meaning that we would try and seek out all of the hiding spots. We would divide and conquer.
Right.
And we were good at it.
And then you found some that said from Santa.
Oh, we just knew. I don't know what prompted it. I have
well,
no
then you
idea.
would have opened it the next day and it was from Santa, but it was a gift you probably would have seen.
I think my parents just kind of like had like just memed and being like, oh, this is from Santa. And I think like sub 10, we were just kind of, it was like, we know this is your writing because we've seen their writing ever since we were kids.
Well, Santa is real. You got the Santa gift.
Want to hear this
up until you're an adult?
Want to hear the shittiest thing that we did when we were kids? And when it came to like seeing what our Christmas gifts was? So hard to like give you the layout of our place, but in the basement, prior to it being renovated, whatnot, had the furnace room that my dad had a little bookshelf that had a padlock on it, right? But to get into that was another door that had its own lock. right? And it didn't have like the lock on the handle, and the door knob didn't have the lock, but there was like it was a padlock, your traditional padlock on the frame and whatnot. And of course, somewhere around October, November, it started getting locked up. And so we were like, and I think this was like when we got
what a coincidence. What timing.
Yeah. And this was right around 99, because that's when the N64 came out. It was right around that same year.
Yeah.
And we were like, huh, interesting. Started locking up. Wonder what it might be. So what we ended up doing is weird little shits. My older brother and I, went into the garage, grabbed my dad's screwdriver kit, and unscrewed, because like it had exposed screws on there, just unscrewed the fucking the latch right off, went in, and then on the cabinet itself had essentially the same lock.
Yeah.
Did the fucking same thing. Open it up. What did we see? Boom. N64. We freaked the fuck out.
From Santa.
Yes, like from Santa, indeed. And we were like, God damn. But anyways, we full blown broken into 2 sets of locks, knowing full well that like that's where we're gonna spoil Christmas for us like weeks in advance.
Yeah.
And guess what? We didn't break into that room once. We broke into that room multiple times.
And he never found out. Does he know now, you think?
I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. Do they know? I don't know. I'm not sure if they know, but I'm sure they knew, but they never called us out on it.
Yeah.
Whether they know, I don't know. I'm sure my brother has told them.
Yeah.
But like, I never say anything, but they must have known.
Yeah.
Because we didn't break into that room once. We broke into that room multiple times.
Yeah, they must know.
They must have known, but they didn't call us out on it, so it's their own fault. So fuck it.
So many kids got that N64 for Christmas.
That was so good, man.
Oh my God, what a console.
Dude, we went out and I don't know how the hell we snapped it up, but like Christmas goddamn day, Christmas fucking day, we were able to go out and rent Star Fox.
Wow. That would have been, that was 98. Ocarina of Time was 98. So it would have been the same, 97, 98, because the N64 launched in 96.
96 is when it launched. Yeah, it was. Holy shit.
Almost 30.
But yeah, like, why did I say it launched in 99? I'm such an idiot. Fuck me. See, I'm sick, and I don't even know my time frame.
That was the height of its popularity in a sense, because Ocarina of Time was 98, and I think Smash Bros. The Mario, I think that was a little later in its life cycle. So
I don't know days worth of shit. Like unless I have Google popped open, and like I don't know.
I'm the historian with years. I remember years.
I try to, but man, like my memories is not nearly as good, and that's why I want to like try and like record our stuff, just because it's just way better. I don't know. I like telling stories. But back. What the hell else was I gonna bring up? But I don't know. I don't think I was like sub 10 years old to answer your question.
Yeah, I was about the same. Yeah, grade 4.
Yeah, okay. Let's just go back to our notes real quick. And one of the things that I was gonna say as well when it came to like the weirdness of like just people being like brand loyalists and whatnot is like, would you not agree that like the extreme amount of like brand loyalty stifles innovation?
Of course it does. Because they're just they have you by the balls. They have all the power over you. You'll do whatever you want.
See, my biggest thing was like when it came to that is that I was having a conversation with a dude that I worked with in sales when I was in sales.
Yeah. And
he had mentioned, he's just like, well, because I'm pro AMD, like top and bottom. Like I've built like 99% of all of my computer builds in my life have been AMD. That's not because I'm an AMD fanboy. I am to some degree for the most part, but it's also because of like just overall familiarity with the architecture.
And
just
preference doesn't make you a fanboy.
And it's also like just cost effectiveness as well, right? That was always my biggest thing. But at the same time, if I had more education, familiarity, and experience with like fucking around with Intel stuff, I will definitely have no qualms with doing so. I just haven't had the desire to, because the price range is always where I need it to be with AMD, and it's always on an architecture that has never really done me wrong.
Yeah.
So anyways, with that being said, because my money is not being put towards another source of potential competitor, is that innovation cannot be further developed as a result of less funding from the public, from regular consumers like you and me, right? And so like that's where brand loyalty is, where ultimately stifles innovation. And for example, like most of my computer peripherals is overwhelmingly Corsair, all of it, right? Most of it. And it's mostly because like that's, at the time, that was what I converted to, right? Going off of LG stuff, I went from off of LG to Corsair, right? But that's not to say I'm going to stick with Corsair forever. I'm going to experiment. Like my next set of peripherals, when these start to fail, I'm going to a different brand, not out of spite.
Well, what's the best bang for my buck?
Best bang for, like, I'll look at it from all angles, right?
Yeah,
I'll look at it from all angles because I want to still be the most pragmatic consumer as possible.
Yeah. By
being as educated as humanly possible, getting the best bang for your buck, not just toss my money all willy-nilly.
Yes.
Making sure that
and you get what you pay for in some cases. A lot of cases too. So,
and like my keyboard has like served me so goddamn well, and I am so overwhelmingly happy with my keyboard.
Yeah.
But so I hope like that thing will last forever. But anyways, but back to my point is that I'm not going to be 100% loyal to any brand, because that's automatically saying that I do not want another company to come and potentially try and disrupt.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be able to put my money towards another company that is on the verge of disrupting, because I'm a little bit more conservative in terms of my spending, because I don't want to, like, I'm not an early adopter in any kind of way. So, but at the same time, I try not to be.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's so risky. Like I was an early adopter on the Ryzen AM4 architecture. Like I still have like mine's Ryzen 7 1800X. It's still the first generation Ryzen. I'm in desperate need of an upgrade.
Yeah.
But I love that processor because it has served me so goddamn well. Yeah. And so like stuff like that, for example, because that processor is still kicking ass for me today, is the reason why I'm gonna like be upgrading to its upgrade brother, much bigger brother. That monster that's in there, because it's been so good to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I still stick to certain
But when
brands.
you're getting into like processors, for example, processors is a bad example because there's only two.
Yes.
It's biopoly, right? So it doesn't really count. But I'm talking like when you're getting into like getting pretty much in any market when there's competition.
Yeah.
Gaming, for example, competition will always produce, and should always produce innovation. Should. Right? As long as they're not locked into like a perpetual evergreen system where hellscape that.
It's only just Sony and Microsoft now. Nintendo's their own. They're in a league of their own. They're not at war with anyone. Sony and Microsoft.
They're at war with themselves, dude.
Well, yeah. But they're so rich. Sony and Microsoft, though, are the Sega and Nintendo of the modern time. It's really only the two console manufacturers, let's face it. Nintendo, again, they're their own. They're like a toy manufacturer. Everyone just has one. Most people.
Fair.
Over 100 million people. Like, there's a big user base. It's a different demographic. There's kids, and it's a toy.
Sorry for the color difference, by the way. I have my notes up, and it's flashbanging us. So it's like, sorry if like the colors
not like the movie theater.
Yeah, not like the movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to tell you my raunchy work story as well. Shit. Fuck. Okay. Here's my raunchy work story. So I used to work at a Comcast call center. You're doing tech support.
Yeah.
And just on a side note, fuck Comcast. So with that being said, and this was like circa 2003, 4, somewhere in there. 2003, 2004, somewhere in there. So one day I come into work early. It was like a 6 a.m. shift.
Yeah.
And automatically we're like, I look at the board and we're 150 calls deep. And I'm like,
good morning.
What the fuck happened? Because 6 a.m. I'm only one of maybe 20 people on the floor doing tech support, looking at the wall, being like, Chicago area has like 120, 150 calls deep. And I'm like, fuck. Meaning something's down and we're getting hammered.
Yeah, that's horrible.
So it means I'm walking into a buzzsaw, pissed off Americans with like, keep in mind, 2003, 2004. This is right after the .com boom of 2001.
Yeah.
And because don't forget, when bubbles burst, it's not just burst, boom, it's over. No, that shit lasts for years.
Yeah.
Those ripples last for years, where people are trying to essentially pick or either trying to salvage what they can, or they're getting into the game too late, like way too late. Well, anyways, businesses are being affected. That people are trying to like do online online commerce and whatever. Either way, it's right after the .com boom. People were trying to make money really fast, and it wasn't working, and their internet wasn't working, and people were mad. So anyways, people were balls deep in queue. So I'm on the floor taking call after call of really, really pissed off people from the Chicago, greater Chicago area. And people are waiting in queue for like 2-3 hours.
God, I'd give up after that.
People were not.
Just to be told, yeah, we're working on it. What a waste of time.
One dude did not waste any time. You want to know how he utilized his time? Pick up my phone call. Thank you for calling Comcast. Say my spiel, right? Nothing. Say it again. Thought I heard something. What is that? Okay, if no one's gonna answer, I'm gonna have to hang up. I'm gonna have to end this call. Blah blah blah. And next thing you know, I started hearing like sounds. And then distinctly, it was a woman. It was a woman sound. I was like, okay, whatever. I was gonna hang up, but then it was distinctly moaning sounds, and it was one chick, and I'm like, oh, really? Then I heard the dude then say something, right? And so I'm like, immediately I should have just hung up the phone, right? But I'm like,
you old pervert.
And I'm just like, were they really waiting on hold this long? And in waiting, they decided to say, fuck it, and fuck it?
Yeah.
But then what shocked me more was that there was a second female voice. The dude was having a three-way while waiting on the phone about his down internet.
Like, you had better things to do. You had better things to do than be waiting on hold. Just like, you got it pretty good. Let's hang up the phone.
So being because we're being everyone in the center is being absolutely hammered with calls, and everyone's just having a shit day. Like, it was a buzzsaw because we're having to tell people like your internet's down, blah blah, like that. Everyone's heard that spiel, and I heard this, and I'm just like, no fucking way. And I said this out loud,
recorded for quality assurance.
And I was like, no fucking way, because I'm like, is that real? Oh my god, it is true. Like, sure as shit. It was a dude, like, it was like, dude, fucking two chicks. And I was like, and I said, I was like, and I had it on mute, and I went, no fucking way. And three guys around me were just like, oh, what's up? And I'm just like, this dude's fucking two chicks while he's waiting on the phone. No way. So
let's hear it.
So the one guy was just like, bullshit. Holy shit, he's not lying. And so I put the headset on, and I'm just like, okay, guys, whatever. I'm about to hang up the phone. Just as I'm about to hang up the phone, I hear the guy ruffle for the phone, pick it up and say, oh, hello, hello, hello. And I'm like, shit.
Just hang up.
Hung up.
Show's over. He would have known you were listening.
Well, I had it on mute, right?
But he would have heard you hung up.
Oh yeah, he definitely heard me hung up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I busted up. I panicked, but not after like it was one of those moments where it's like someone has to witness this,
or
else the story cannot be legitimate, right? And as soon as I passed it to the loudest mouth guy, and I was just like, no, this is fucking real, or listen.
Yeah.
And then as soon as his face dropped, he was just like, it's true, man. He's like,
my God,
he's right. And just as I was about to end the show, and I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, I don't know what made the prompt the guy to be like, oh, is my call that I've been waiting on hold from my internet on?
Yeah.
But I know, oh man, I panicked and I hung up on him.
I'll never forget that.
The dude waited for like 2-3 hours for that.
Just for that.
But yeah, he was definitely, or the other possibility as well, he could have been watching porn as well. He could have been watching some shit as well.
True. Either way.
But it definitely sounded like it was like in the room.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was like in the room kind of deal. But anyways, that's my raunchy story. And that was from a call center, man. But
like, call center, you wouldn't think.
I just feel bad that I panicked and hung up on the poor guy.
I'm sure he figured it out. The internet's down.
Internet was down. Everyone was down. It was funny. One time I had someone from one of the deeper south. I want to say it was somewhere in Texas. I could be wrong, but could have even been Oklahoma. Sometimes a lot of the times with the calls, they'll try and like certain call centers will only get like certain regions,
right? But
you'll have to get trickle in from other areas and whatnot. So we had one come in definitely from one of the Tornado Alley states. And sure as shit, there was an outage. And what's the source of the outage? You're under a tornado watch right now. Is there a possible tornado that is currently ripping through your county that has torn up a line or two?
Yeah.
Do you currently have power?
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. And it's like you're under a tornado watch, and I'm pretty sure there's one that was touched down. And like literally, apparently, and go to find out from that call because the guy was pissed off. Because that's the only reason I remember, because there was a road call from a southern accent dude that was mad that his internet was down and looked at the notes. Yeah, tornado watch, which normally means probably a tornado ripped through it.
That's stupid.
Oh yeah, and he was mad.
Customer service.
That was in my opinion, and yeah, as far as like. Again, I could go on about like work shit for fucking ever. Yeah. It's hard to make
not to.
It's like make a podcast about gaming if we talk about work shit.
Yeah, I know. There's been no gaming.
But here's the thing though.
N64 launch.
That's the thing though, is that being like regular working guys is part of gaming, because how do you like feed into that particular hobby?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to do that shit in order to feed that hobby. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, and that shapes you as a person, which affects what you're playing and why you're playing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
Oh, hey, since you work at an electronic retail store, and you're going to see this nonstop, and you're going to be selling this goddamn thing as well, or the store is going to be selling the goddamn thing, please tell me you saw the new Apple ad for the iPad Pro. Please tell me you saw it.
I haven't seen the commercial, but I saw something about, like, I saw this smiley face getting crushed or something. I don't know, when people felt sad.
You hadn't seen oh man. Dude, people are fucking mad.
Why?
Oh no, I get it. One second. I gotta pull this shit up, because this is, dude, people are fucking seething. You want to know who particularly are pissed off? Believe it or not, the Japanese.
Really?
And I get why too. And I'll explain more. Like at face value, it's kind of like why, but yeah. So can I show you do you want to see the commercial in its totality? Okay, I'll show you the commercial in its totality. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna
reaction video.
Oh, might as well, right? Fuck it.
Why are people mad about that?
At first, I was kind of like, I don't get it.
I thought it was kind of clever in a way of showing, okay, the iPad has everything you need. It can get rid of all this stuff.
It would have been clever if they did it in reverse, in my opinion. But anyways, this actually summed it up pretty good.
Yes, exactly. That's totally. I picked up on that too.
Yeah, read that in totality. Though. Yeah, like it's like crushing symbols of human creativity and cultural achievements to appeal to appropriate. Like they actually like crush the shit, right?
Yeah, but I get what they're saying on the commercial. I don't know. The iPad does do a lot
because like this one here actually summed it up really good as well. It's like a symbolism of indiscriminately crushing beautiful creative tools is an interesting choice. Like when I
get what their ad was doing, but
I get like
people are surprised Apple, like of course.
Well, here's the thing. Do you know what kind of spawns that is like the fascination of people with hydraulic press videos on TikTok and shit and shorts and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like that's ultimately what inspired this.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not a big fan of like senseless destruction of stuff. Unless like, I don't know. I'm not sure why. Like it makes me sound like a fucking hoarder in a way. But I'm not because like
it's
wasteful.
Like
exactly, it's wasteful. Like it could be someone else could find enjoyment in those things, even if they're like not a perfect working order. Like I don't know. Either way, like that's probably like reading way too deep into it. But all the same, as far as like ads are concerned, the blowback on it has been like pretty fucking polarizing.
Oh yeah, I've seen about it, but I don't know. I was expecting.
That's all it was.
But I get like, people. I get it, but. That much of an outcry, and if anything, now you're just advertising for the iPad with your outcry.
Oh, completely.
Like you're making it viral. Just don't interact with it.
Just bitching about it is like not doing any favors. Like, if anything, like I said, I didn't care. Like I looked at, I was just kind of like, it's just another Apple.
Another ad.
It's just another Apple ad.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I knew it was just going to be for a product that is like virtually no different than what's currently available now.
The most powerful iPad yet. Of course it is.
No,
it's the newest.
Thinnest.
Well, and the most powerful, I'm sure. But yeah, the thinnest, they said.
Whatever. It's like Apple stuff like they don't scream on innovation.
No, it's tiny changes every year, way, and people eat it up.
I just found like that particular, like people being that pissed off. Like I agree. In my opinion, if I had it my way, if I were to take a different direction in terms of like a marketing direction, I would use that same video and just put it in reverse.
But people are surprised the $1 trillion company doesn't care about anything else but their product. Yeah, of course they don't. You don't need an ad to tell you that. Maybe hate the company before. Quit buying iPhones. Quit buying their products.
Oh yeah.
But they don't. They bitch online about it. Quit buying it. You're the ones making them so rich. So boo-hoo. An ad.
Again,
this is where you draw the line.
Back to we were talking about when it came to like brand loyalty, stifling innovation.
Yes,
Apple is like
exactly. They're the number one offender.
Apple shit hasn't changed like hardly at all. There's been micro jumps in between their generations.
My iPhone 11 does everything. Not everything. They're better camera. They're, of course, but for what I use it for what most people use their phone for, it does everything. Most people, the common person does.
I can make a smartphone last for damn near a decade.
I can do AI videos on this within reason. Like but you can do stuff.
I'll have to shoot you over a link. Something really fucking gnarly. It's just a video of an AI model learning how to walk.
That'll be for next time.
I'll shoot you over the link. You just have to watch it on your own time because they time lapse and whatnot. But you have 2 kids, and it is fucking freaky.
Oh, I bet.
All it is like the model itself is like just made of blocks with like basic human skeletons, but like the process of it learning how to go from like flopping to walking.
Is that where it's the kid and it's a person
it's
growing?
Not a kid. No, it's literally like just blocks.
Okay.
Literally like cubes. Send me that. Cubes on a skeleton.
Yeah.
But I'll send you over that video. Yeah. And they time lapse it. But I was just like, wow, it is fucked up because when you incorporate, because you have 2 kids and a lot of the similarities are crazy. For example, Did your kid learn how to skip before walking?
No.
Like, did kind of like skip, like kind of like left, like right, left, right, left, like
kind of like
off
sure.
or whatever, like before actually
when
left,
he's
right,
learning,
left, right.
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
it does very similar like human attribute learning trait. It's fucked up to watch.
That's weird. That stuff's weird.
But at the same time, it was so cool.
Yeah,
it's so simple, but it's so cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, you went on AI, and I was just like, oh yeah, AI shit, man.
Oh yeah, that's its own thing.
AI
Next time,
I love AI shit, man.
What are we at for time?
Oh, I can easily trim like 10-20 minutes out of this. So there's like two things I wanted to cover. So like more sad news, Xbox closing more studios and whatnot, especially like the Tango Gameworks, like that was the one that really made my eyes pop.
And the people that bought the $100 DLC for Redfall that will never get it, they should get refunds.
Oh Jesus Christ.
They won't.
Oh, they won't, no. The other thing that I saw that I was like fucking absolutely, I laughed my ass off as soon as I heard it. After they turned around and they did these closures, players went and found Phil Spencer's base in Fallout 4 or Fallout 76.
Really?
And they fucking nuked it.
Oh, of course they did. He probably loves it.
Probably. It's like easy publicity for his part. Either way, I don't know. And then you got assholes like the former president of Blizzard, Mike Ybarra, coming out being like, oh, he feels and hurts just as bad as the people that are affected by these closures. Like, motherfucker, he doesn't have to worry about possibly losing his house in the next month if he doesn't find work.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck yourself. Here's the thing. This is the part where I kind of like love and hate Nintendo all at the same time, because Nintendo is like a shitty company, but they're fucking good for doing shit like cutting a CEO's wage in half.
Yeah. The CEO's named Bowser too.
Yeah. Anyways.
Can't make that up.
But yeah, to see players turn around and nuke his fucking base in Fallout 76, I was like, damn right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like review bombing. Bomb him though.
Just literally just bomb his shit.
Nuke him.
Yeah. Exactly. Just nuke him. Hey, well, what have you been playing, man?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Why aren't you gaming, gamer?
I want to play. There's an RPG called Sea of Stars I want to play, kind of Chrono Trigger inspired. And I'm probably saying it wrong, but this Iodin Chronicles, it's like a spiritual successor to the Suikoden series. I want to play that, but otherwise, I started New Vegas and didn't get very far. No fault of the game, I just wasn't feeling it. But other than that, I haven't really played.
I have to hook you up with like proper patches and add-ons and shit like that to make it work the way that to make it work way more stable. But I promise you, it's a fun game. I'm sure
it is. Like, but the gameplay itself, it was fine. Like, it's Fallout. I just wasn't feeling it at the time. I wasn't in the mood.
Doing it like straight up vanilla is risky because it crashes a lot and is very unstable.
I've never run into anything like that. I've only played an hour.
Yeah. It takes a little bit to get into, but I promise you, once you like
took
get
a long
into
time for me to get into. 10 hours for me to get into 3. But I loved it.
I promise you, like New Vegas is an experience. Like that one's like that's the one you have to go in blind. You just have to like just start going into shit.
And I know nothing about it other than play it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hard to say, I know, right? And I hate to like try and force me like, yo, I promise you'll like this game. But this is one of those ones where it's like knowing like kind of the games that you do play from us like just hanging out. It's one of those ones I'm like, stick with it for a little bit until it hooks
like
you.
3
I promise you it will.
It took a bit. I know I'd like it. Just getting into it.
3 was good. I loved 3, but like New Vegas, sorry. 3 was better in gameplay, but in terms of storytelling, just sheer RPGness of New Vegas and just the wackiness of it,
right,
was what I loved the most. It was so good.
Yeah, I'll get to it eventually. But it's $3.
Yeah, it was like I love New Vegas, and but nothing else on the table other than that, eh?
Not really. I'm waiting for Empire of the Ants, a real-time strategy game in Unreal 5, and you're an ant, and it's photorealistic, and you're like in the forest with these ants, and it looks it's based on a book by Bernard Werber, something. It looks really cool.
Talking about book shit. I don't know anything about books. No books. I ain't
Other than that, no.
book reading.
I'm debating on what to play next. Yeah.
I'm still balls deep in Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah.
I'm 135 hours into it now. And this is how much time I waste on that game, is that I've already unlocked the whole map, and I'm already max level. I'm already into ghost levels now. I'm already like ghost level like 63. Some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like and my main quest is like at level 30 right now. Like I kill everything.
Right.
But the one thing that I already went into the arena and fucking got rammed through all of that. The one thing that holds me back the most, especially when you're playing on like very hard difficulty, is that everything is damage sponges. And when you use your like really, really good weapons, they are giga expensive in material costs.
Right.
And the fastest way that I found to be able to get those materials in a snap is by walking up and down one of the far western shores and hunting wildlife like lobsters, crabs, and gulls and seagulls and whatnot. Just going up and down and just snapping them all in quick succession.
Yeah.
And selling all of the mats and everything that you get from them. And in about a half hour of farming, I can get like $7,000. Wow. Right.
And farming's fun.
Not in this case. It's boring. It's tedious. It's just tedious. Yeah. Right. And the reason is because all the mats that I use, like my blast paste, for example, is like really expensive. A full stack is $2,000. Yeah. So like I burn through my shards so quick. And then now I'm starting like, I can take down like large machines, no problem. Like I farm those motherfuckers now. Yeah. The Apex ones are the ones that I struggle with now, that I kind of struggle with because they're just amped up ones with like damn near one hit abilities. Yeah. They've killed me a few times. But anyways, like now I'm starting to go through the storyline, and now I'm actually like starting to actually like beat it. But like I'm trying to upgrade all my shit like to max first, and like I'm just wasting my time just like unlocking, scanning everything, looking for doing all the side quests, like doing everything other than the main quest, and like upgrading my shit to max and having the best gear possible before I do the main quest. Why do I do that? I do not fucking know.
You like what you like.
And now I'm 135 hours deep into it, and I should ultimately I should have been done the game like twice over by now.
Oh yeah, probably like a 30-hour story game. Like if you just did the main missions only, around there.
There is a couple of things that really pissed me off about the game, though.
Yeah,
like for example, the machine animations. Sometimes they'll. Do you ever see it when the models of characters fucking slide?
Oh yeah,
they slide, swing, or whatever, like all that bullshit. This game is like horrendous for it. Like you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm far enough away, and you'll see the model just slide, and then fucking attack, and I'm like, bro, I'm like, fuck you. I'll have a couple of those moments where I'm just like, I try and keep my level. My computer is in the same room as my wife's computer.
Yeah.
And I game on it, right? And so she also does like her own thing on her computer, and she's like literally within arm's reach of me, right? So I try and keep my outbursts to a minimum, right? Every now and then I'll just be like, bro, fuck you. Yeah. And I'll just like, I'll try and word it like that. I'm just like, I'll just be like, fuck. But that game makes me do that a few times where I'm just like, no way that son of a bitch hit me. And especially when I get hit in rapid succession and I hear Aloy's fucking,
get good.
And I'm like, fuck you.
Get
bitch.
Good. Get better.
The only other thing that pisses me off of that game as well, and you can relate to this with pretty much any game that does it. Underwater levels, fuck water levels.
You know what else? Sewer levels,
water levels. I don't care.
But
anywhere
swimming,
you have to fucking swim,
especially if you have a breath meter.
They actually implemented one where you have an infinite breath.
I just don't know why games do it at all. Water levels are never fun. Ever.
I hate water levels.
Ever.
I hate them.
No, they're awful. In Mario 64, you could run out of breath. The water temple in Ocarina of Time probably ruined it for a lot of people.
I knew you were going to mention Ocarina
like you're not
of Time.
really underwater there, but you know water. Water in games.
I knew you were
horrible.
Oh, yeah. The Ninja Turtles as well. Turtle in Time or whatever
Impossible.
that was.
Yeah, I got past it as a kid. I was 6, beat it, but possible now.
Yeah, so anyways, I'm still plugging away over at Forbidden West. Yeah. And I haven't really... The only other itch that I've had to play other than that is like... I love racing games. I love Forza. And I always get drawn to play Forza again, but I've played it so much that like the maps are boring to me now. Yeah. I'm just like, don't really care anymore. But like the cars are cool and whatnot, and all the new cars that they release are all cool. I'm just like, yeah, but it's the same maps and I don't care anymore. Yeah. Like, give me a new country. I want to fuck around in a new country.
Yeah.
And but anyways, aside from that, I'm like casual fucking playing Dragonflight Season 4. Like I am not very geared at all. I'm at 517 right now. 517, yeah.
You're probably still burnt out from that rating thing.
This is the maintenance season before a new expansion.
Yeah.
Get geared enough to make the leveling process easier.
Yeah.
And be done. We're literally only raiding once a week. We're
nice.
It's so nice, and we don't even push like mythic at all. Like we'll clear all of heroic, and like that's a cakewalk for us. Like we just walk through heroic, and then we'll turn around and bang out like the first 4 bosses in mythic.
Yeah,
and then call it quits.
Yeah,
except for last night because we tried the council fight from the second raid or. No, it was from Mirdasil. The council fight in Mirdasil is fucking miserable. And we're just like, we ain't doing this. Fuck that. We're out.
It's a nice feeling when you just stop.
Yeah, just stop and say, nope, fuck it. It's like, not that it's hard, it's just annoying. We're just like, no, we don't want to be annoying. We're done.
Yeah.
It was so nice to just be able to call it.
Play for fun.
It was funny too, because like soon, right after raid ended, I'm like, cool. Anyone for keys? Discord empty.
Yeah.
Instantly empty. And I was like, whoa.
The silence speaks loudly. Yeah. The silence is deafening.
Everyone left. Everyone was like done. Everyone just boom, instantly logged off.
Yeah.
Everyone's just done for the night. Like, nope, no, we are good. Which is fine. Like I haven't been pushing keys at all. Like I've already hit Keystone Master. I always hit Keystone Master like within the second week, and like that's effortless for most like Mythic Raiders anyway. So it doesn't really matter. And as far as gear goes, I'm only like nitpicking at like small pieces of gear. But aside from that, like now this is the point where by this point in season 3, I was almost like damn near biz by this point in season 3. But then I also had the following like 5 weeks of just no progression. Well, just like hammering my face against like Farak's ass.
I couldn't.
Well, I'm just glad it's over. But until the next expansion.
Next time. Yeah.
And I haven't really figured out like how I'm gonna like approach the next expansion. Because I want to do content creation like really deeply, and the beginning of an expansion is like the best time to do it.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah. And like I understand its cadence, its cycles, and I understand like fan interactions with videos. Like just because like I'm a viewer. I'm like I watch videos on expansions, and I have for years. So it's like, do I want to put my hat in the ring and try and actually produce something of interest onto the public around something that I've been doing for years, which is like just playing WoW and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like just out of like boredom and creative interest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really thought, that's getting more into content creation. Like when it comes to like streaming and doing shit like on a solo level, it has bugged me daily for like months, if not years. And why I haven't pulled the trigger on it is just I have no idea. Just because like now not having a job and now having to like now look for a job and have to worry about like a new place to live.
Yeah,
like within the next hopefully year, because I don't want to be stuck in my fucking father-in-law's basement forever.
No,
like
God, no.
Yeah,
God, no.
So I want to like live somewhere different. That would be nice. And so I have to like need money for that. So I have to get back on the horse and get looking for another job and actually like you know, can actually be able to do that.
Time goes quick. 10 months goes by quick.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I'm just trying to take this season as casual as possible. I'm like trying to like support my wife in all of the ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, so I think we'll try and wrap up an episode number 3 because like it looks like
good.
We're about an hour and 40 minutes in. I thought it was gonna be a shorter episode.
I thought it would. Yeah.
No, like I'm gonna probably like trim like 20 minutes out of this, but we'll see. Who knows? But do you have so we'll try and
be more game talk next time.
We'll do, it'll be a lot more
less Santa
game talk, less Santa.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to cover like some of the weird fucking news that's been happening over the last couple of weeks, and also since we haven't caught up in the last couple of weeks, so this is also like just handing out, shooting the shit after all of this shenanigans went down.
Yeah, there'll be more stories next time about how studios are shit too.
Dude,
I'm sure.
When we started this, I knew we were never gonna run out of content.
Oh, never. It could go forever.
Every week there's something. I swear to God.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, it is. There's always something.
All right.
And even when there isn't, we can find something else.
Any final thoughts? Any comments? Anything you want to throw out there?
Not really. I'm gonna play something next time. Maybe we'll play Helldivers.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll convince you to play Helldivers, but I'm gonna find something to play.
I'll ponder on the Helldivers.
And hopefully that will come up. A new game of sorts. Whether it's Helldivers or otherwise. Yeah. There'll be a new game.
Fair enough.
Be a new game. That's the vow.
All right. So we'll wrap up episode number 3 here. I'm Zethus.
Bubba.
There.
Bubba Zoom. Bubba Zoom.
All right. I'll take it easy, and we'll try and get this guy up on Monday, and we'll see you next.
While the news is still relevant.
Hopefully we're both feeling better, because it sounds like you sound like shit. I sound like shit. So hopefully we're both feeling better
tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe.
Oops.
Anyways, so like, subscribe, comment, all that good shit below. Adios. Zethus, Bubba Zoom. We're out.